Abandonment. Feeling alone is crazy. I always, I've always been afraid of being alone, to be honest. From as far back as when I'm like 5, being left alone in school was terrifying. Being left behind at home when my siblings went out, feeling like I was missing out of something. I recently had to move out of a shared space. And after I did, this was a shared space with someone I deeply love. I was at a gathering, I was in church, and I stood in a crowd full of people that I knew care about me. But I felt so alone. So alone. And it wasn't because these people don't care about me. It wasn't because I wasn't loved in this space. But I felt like I came to realize that loneliness comes from a disconnect, if you know what I mean. Like a disconnect from love, a disconnect from being cared for, a disconnect from fellowship of a sort. Because I realized the person I used to stay with knew every single thing. I could talk to him about anything and everything. And I didn't have that anymore. And I'm in a space full of people that love me, but for some reason, I can't tell them anything because I have to say everything for them to understand anything. It's crazy. And sometimes the need to satisfy that feeling of loneliness pushes us to things that are familiar. Sometimes what we need to feel less lonely isn't familiar. Because we've lost what was familiar, we start to feel like we're alone, when in fact we're not. So we go chase the things that are familiar. And sometimes the things that are familiar are going to make things worse. I don't think being alone is a bad thing. I just think loneliness is the problem. And it comes from a consciousness, a mindset. A feeling that nobody is there, nobody can help, nobody gets it. And it usually comes from us losing familiar things. And genuine love is not always familiar. It changes form. It changes form a lot. Genuine love is not always familiar. And when it changes form, it would only make sense for us to ask for reassurance from the ones that love us, from the ones that are close to us, to tell us again, there's nothing wrong with asking for reassurance. I believe people who love you will do what it takes to remind you that they love you and they're with you. And the truth is, you are not alone. You're not alone. You're not. Peace.